Yo! Yes, everybody, we are back for some more Jujutsu Kaisen content, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, the background is different. I have moved. Yes, big top boy things. Oh, this movie is so ghetto. I'm probably gonna do it again in the future, but one of the most irksome experiences of my 25 coming up on 26 years of living. Don't do it. Don't be an adult, kids. It sucks. Now, Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo has been out for about 2 months now, and I will say that while the manga isn't super exciting, there aren't any super crazy lore reveals concerning Jujutsu Kaisen itself, like I'm talking about the previous series. I will say that the past couple of chapters have dramatically shifted my opinion of the manga. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a bit boring. Now, when I say boring, it wasn't the most entertaining. There weren't any crazy fights or anything like that. Obviously, Maru does have his little scrap with the older sorcerer, but we have some pretty cool reveals and some pretty cool things, but nothing super crazy. But the past 2 chapters specifically is just absolutely changing the way people view Gege's work. As someone that's always been a fan of Gege and not necessarily loving some of the choices that he makes, but people actually are viewing Gege as a competent writer now. And here's what I mean. Specifically, we are talking about Maru, Cross, as well as Dura's backstory. Now, we don't really know too much about Dura himself, excuse me. But when we're introduced to him, we see that he takes in these twins, and then we have this whole breakdown of the social climate of the Sumerians and their planet, and where they come from. You have all these connections with the dam that they're trying to build, and you get attached very quickly. So we come to this almost civil war because one faction wants to protect this side, which has these wolf-like things that kill somebody's daughter, so they don't want them there. It's kind of a mess, but I like it. And I don't mean to say this out of sheer recency bias, but the way that these past 2 chapters were framed, it kind of reminds me of One Piece, with just how intricate and detailed these backstories are going into. We are diving deep in there. Gege has us hooked, and we want to know more. Which, if I'm going to be honest, he hasn't done that before. Not really. Especially with like flashbacks and things like that. Gege taking the time to do the character work is a criticism that I have said before, that many other people have said before. Alon's, Josh Betweener, a bunch of other people have said before. So when we actually see that Gege is taking the time fleshing out these characters, it warms my heart, because I know he's a competent writer. He's written some fantastic stuff. And man, when you have Deborah encountering Dura in the tournament that they use to kind of like settle these squabbles, we're thinking, oh geez, it's over. It's over. We've seen his design. We're like, dude, he got Sukuna energy, and not even any glaze, just the way he pops on the first panel and just how he looks, how he's shaded. We're like, oh, it's over. Oh, here comes the big bad. And then the first thing he says is, Dura, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. Dura is actually his best friend, and he's like, oh man, it's okay. What's going on? They had your sister. I'm sorry. There's not a lot we can do here. We actually see that Maru was the one that is actually going to jump down and attempt to stop the tournament. And Maru's screaming, what's wrong with you? How dare you disrespect him like that? And we see Deborah say, I'm sorry, I didn't want to harm his face. Dude, the way the rug was pulled from under me, I am so glad that Deborah is not a stereotypical space evil guy. I'm like, oh, dude, because the way they were kind of framing the first couple of chapters with him, I'm like, oh, here we go, another space Sukuna. But no, he's actually kind-hearted, kind of like a gentle giant. He kind of reminds me of how Broly was when he was taken in by Chilai and Lemo. He's shy, and people were kind of trying to make this comparison where Gojo was kind of a reflect of Dura. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to remember the names. It's a fresh manga. I apologize. But people were trying to make a connection between Dura kind of being representative of Gojo. But the most interesting thing I saw was that people were saying that Deborah looks like Sukuna if he actually was taken in by the higher ups and just made to fight and be their weapon. And I don't think Sukuna's personality exactly matches that, because Sukuna never really has been the type to follow anybody else. He's always respected strength and strength alone. He wouldn't really care what the higher ups think of him. So I don't necessarily agree with that one specifically, but I could see where the comparisons could be made. We have this overarching concept of neighbors and someone that you can relate to. Actually, let me pull up the exact quote. Give me 1 second. Dura says, neighbors are friends who understand why the things that matter to you are so important. And throughout these past couple of chapters, you have this commentary on religion, where religion should be a way of life, not an excuse to fight these wars and try to harm other people. Dura has some absolutely fire lines within this chapter. I'm going to read a couple of quotes that he says. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it after all this time, but if a war starts over economic ambitions but gets framed as a religious war instead, other tribes will be reluctant to interfere. They'll just assume there's something they're not aware of going on, which makes them hesitant to step in and offer aid. But religion at its core is supposed to be rooted in everyday life, not some grand cultural ideology. We weren't asking you to respect our religion itself, but our way of life, which grew from it. We Romulans are only humans just like you, so please help us, accept us as your neighbors. Now, again, that is very topical with what's going on, especially down in Israel and Gaza and things like that. And also people kind of scared to talk about it. And me also to an extent, because I'm clearly not Jewish and I'm not Palestinian, so I don't exactly know all the fine details. But if you kind of take a surface level look at what's going on over there, especially to the innocent people, you're like, this shit's not cool. War is terrible for everybody. And cutting water off and things of that nature. Global officials celebrating deaths of children, which is absolutely insane. By the way, I'll probably leave a link in the description if you would like to donate to any certified causes to Palestine. Again, if you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, it's awful what's going on over there, and it's very topical what Gege is doing here, man. I know some people said that he was kind of scared to make the smallpox curse the COVID curse because it's just everything was going on right now, but man, that line is absolutely fantastic because that's just a very human thing that we've been doing for years and years and years. The Crusades, pretty much any sort of world war, to an extent, religion had a place in there. You have this concept of the white man's burden, where you need to spread all of your goodness and educate, quote unquote, educate these people, like what we saw with the colonization of America and the Native Americans and just all this stuff. It's just, man, I didn't expect to walk into that with this chapter, man. I didn't expect it. That was awesome. And moving away from these past two chapters, by the way, and also just seeing that Bora is also a good guy, and he actually wants to accompany Maru and Cross, and actually seeing Cross die on the inside when Dora died, and him just accepting the way that people operate. It's just they're going to be inherently selfish, and Maru actually kind of trying to be the more optimistic brother. But even past all of that, you have some pretty interesting stuff with some of the core cast members of JJK Modulo. Specifically, you have that panel where you have the old sorcerer fighting Maru, and he remembers the closest he ever came to death, and you had a flash of Yuji. That was so sick. Check out, dude. Again, Yuji's my nephew. That's my guy. That's my guy, brother. But oh my goodness, chat. Dude, seeing Yuji referred to as a extraordinary sorcerer, that definitely pleased my heart. And you have some of these other crumbs too. Like you have Tsurugi waking up from the fight, and he sees Mahito, and Mahito says, "No, you're not him." Do I think Mahito's coming back? I don't think so. I don't think so. What I think is Mahito's waiting in the afterlife. I don't know if we'll see him again in this manga, but what's definitely happening is he's waiting in the afterlife for Yuji to talk some more shit, to get on his nerves. Kind of similar to what he did with Sukuna, right? I'm also really enjoying the art direction a bit more in Modulo as well. I didn't like it at first. It did take me some getting used to. I absolutely love Gege's art. I love how rough it is. But this style, I'm actually enjoying it a bit more. And it's gonna sound weird. I'm glad Gege is not drawing it so he can focus his pen on the writing. And you even have some of the stuff with Yuka, and she's dying. She's got 6 months to live. It's a bit weird because it's she's one of the protagonists, so we're introducing her death this early. Maybe the Sumerians have some sort of technology to cure her or something. I don't know. These people seem pretty similar to humans in an aspect, except with their eye being kind of the core of their curse energy. I will say that Tsurugi and Yuka, they're not really the most interesting for me at the moment, but I am very curious to see what happens more with Maru and Cross, because after this backstory, I'm very interested. Dude, you have that panel at the end of the chapter where they say, "Let's go far beyond the sky to find our neighbors," and I'm not gonna lie, that got me emotional. It did. It got me emotional, man. And that was beautiful. Oh my goodness. Because when the flashback first started, I'm like, What are we doing here, Gege? I don't know about that. But now I'm actually so emotionally invested into Maru and Cross as well as Deborah. I want to see more of Deborah. I want to see more of his backstory as well. Gege taking the time to do the depth, man. Wow. This ain't no hey on there flashback, but I'll take it, chat. I'll take it. But yeah, do I think that there's gonna be like a huge big fight at the end of JJK Modulo? I don't necessarily think so. I don't think it's gonna be like a big war between the Sumerians and the humans on Earth. I don't think so. Do I think that this is probably gonna be like a 30 chapter story? Probably. I don't know. I'm a bit sad. I don't know if I want this series to end, man. I've been waiting. That feels like a long time. I've been waiting over a year for Gege's next work, and so to hear that this is gonna be only like 3 volumes worth, I'm like, oh man, really? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's me, boy Daffy, guys. Let me know what you guys think of JJK Modulo down in the comments below. Do you guys hate it? Do you guys love it? Do you guys love these new batch of chapters? Do you hate this batch of chapters? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious. Also, let me know what else would you also like to see out of JJK Modulo as well. I'm very curious. But yeah, it's me, boy Daffy, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this video. Please make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. You guys make sure you take care of yourselves and have a damn good one. Peace.